All right. It's time for some football. I'm pretty excited. Nobody in the room. It's just me. But that's okay because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and proceed. Whoop! Wait a minute. Gotta mute the YouTube thing. All right. So I'm going to proceed like it's just me making a video, and people can watch this back over the next couple days as they get ready for this weekend of NFL football. So I'm going to go over the games and talk a little bit about the news while I do it. Might look at some fantasy football. Yeah, just excited about the games tonight. So now I'm about to do everyone a favor. I am going to pull up my Yahoo Pick'em League. Here it is. And make my face a lot smaller. Isn't that better already? Okay, so I hope people will start coming in and chatting. But we're just going to proceed. Like the old movie says, if you build it, they will come. So we're just building. So I did this last year. Doing it again. Actually, I did it 2 years ago too, but I did those as pre-recorded videos. I like to try to do them live. I'm trying, like I said, I'm trying to build a little bit of an audience enough to where there's some fun interaction. Hope to see my buddy, my vinyl community buddy, Dan Powers in here at some point. That'd be cool. Maybe Eric Weinbender. Those guys have been regulars on this channel, and I appreciate them so much. All right, so let me talk about this weekly live stream. Tonight, I decided to do it on game day because it's a special day, and also because the last 2 nights I've been watching the Madden live streams so I could get that 89 Tyreek Hill. And I got him. So yeah. So I decided to do it. I knew I would be excited about this football game, and it's just looking forward to it. So I plan in the future to do this live stream on Tuesday nights. At 7:00. That may fluctuate. I don't know. The first factor is, me. I'm starting a new job. I want to get in the rhythm of that job, and I think 7:00 is late enough to get me home, and early enough to where I don't have to rush right to bed afterward. So that's the plan there. It could fluctuate a little bit, especially if for some reason the NFL decides to postpone games rather than just cancel them. I don't know how that's going to work. So if there's a Tuesday night game, I might push it back to Wednesday I just may push it back to Wednesday. We'll see. It'll all depend. So as far as vinyl community is concerned, I just did a part 1 on my Iron Maiden collection, and I'm waiting for the CD of the new Iron Maiden Senjutsu. I think that's how you pronounce it, to come in so that I can do the CD second part, and that'll be. Hopefully that video will go up early next week. I don't think I'm getting it until next Monday. So it'll be It'll probably be middle of next week when that video goes up. All right, let's get back to football. Let's talk about Tampa Bay versus Dallas. Tampa Bay is the home team. I see this as like just two different types of teams. One being the world champs, and a team that is a little bit more mature. I don't think Tampa Bay is going to have to be dealt with because they're not going to get off. I don't see them getting off to a slow start this year. They've been together. I think we watched them last year come together and play well, and I just don't see this. All right, hang on. I've got a Calico. I've got to address. Stay down. Thank you. Aretha wants to play. So I just think this team has already come together, and they should get off to a fast start. Dallas still has a lot to prove. I mean, they look like they've got some talent, but we've thought that before. They did add a few pieces to their defense through free agency, and we'll see if that pans out for them. But no. Yeah. So I don't know. I just see New England. Wow, Aretha, come on now. Wow, first pick. First game, talking about the first game, already interrupted by the kiddies. So, but if the people who have been here before, the cats are no surprise to you. They're in my videos all the time, whether I intend for them to be there or not. Yeah. So I just think tonight, Tampa Bay's going to thump Dallas. I don't think Dallas is ready. It could be that Dallas comes together as the year goes along. But I don't see it happening. Aretha. Wow, she's fired up. She's ready for some football. Jake, get in here and tackle this Calico. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is definitely going to Tampa Bay. They're going to get Dallas is going to get a whooping, and that's the way that's going to play out. The big problem that Dallas will have is if they how do they bounce back? Will this? You don't want to go in your first game thinking, okay, we're playing the world champs, so we're going to get beat. So the big thing is, can they take this in stride, not let it start their season off? Everybody wants to start the season off with a W. So, but we'll see what Dallas has got. But I don't think we're going to see it tonight. So let's move down to the second game. We've got Philadelphia at Atlanta. Atlanta's the favorite. I would have to agree with that. I think that Atlanta can put up points. There's no doubt about that. I don't know that Philadelphia can keep up with them. We'll see. Rookie quarterbacks, they have growing pains. So, what's Jalen Hurts going to do? As I say that, let me slide over here. I do want to take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles depth chart. And because I haven't, to be honest with you, I don't. The Eagles are not really what I consider a contending team, so I sometimes overlook them. So Jalen Hurts is the starter. It looks like Joe Flacco is the backup with Gardner Minshew as the third string. Miles Sanders, Boston Scott are the running backs. Yeah, that's a little rough. Um, yeah, so I don't know that I'd put a lot on this, just because Atlanta's not a is not a dominant team. So, but I just think at home they'll put up more points than Philadelphia. So let's move to, oh man, this is a dogfight. It looks like Pittsburgh at Buffalo. As much as I don't hate the Bills. I don't hate the Bills. I think Josh Allen turned the corner. Third year, turned the corner last year, turned the corner into the elite quarterback category. That's good news for the Bills. But man, their defense did not play up to snuff last year. Hey, Dan Powers just joined us talking about Dallas, saying they need to get the running game going. They do. And it was not good last year. I don't see it getting fixed against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though. They have, everybody talks about Tom Brady, but the Buccaneers, man, they have a stout defense. That defense, well, can shut them down. And I think that was the difference in the Super Bowl last year. The Chiefs had some problems on their O line. I talked about it on this live stream last year. It was a little earlier in the playoffs, so I didn't really talk about Super Bowl week. I kind of forgot about it, but it played itself out in the Super Bowl. And Mahomes had to run for his life. So, we'll see. We'll see if Dallas can get Zeke going tonight. I'm not counting on it, though. I'm not counting on it. So, yeah, getting back to Buffalo and Pittsburgh. It's tough. Pittsburgh is so well coached. You hate to count Ben Roethlisberger out. And if the Buffalo defense doesn't show up better than they did last year, he could very well have a decent night tonight. Then you have to add in the factor of Najee Harris. I blanked on his name. That's what happens when you get old. Sometimes you can't remember all the useless knowledge that you could before. And I couldn't. I have Najee Harris on my Madden video game team, and still can't remember his name. But yeah, if this young man can get Pittsburgh a running game going, this could be a real dogfight. But it's in Buffalo. I know folks think I make too much of the home field advantage, but I just can't see Pittsburgh going up to Buffalo and beating a fired up Bills team. It's going to be opening day. It's excited. They're all excited. That offense, well, as a Dolphin fan, I can just tell you that Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs is no joke. Yeah, so I'm going with Buffalo. Well, I got to pick the right screen to click on. There we go. But I'm not putting much confidence on this. I think this could keep on the right screen. All right, so we're talking. I'm going to put one confidence point on this. This could be an upset. Minnesota versus Cincinnati. This one's in Cincinnati. Man, another tough one. Minnesota had a poor year last year. I don't think they lived up to anybody's expectations of what they could do. I thought they were going to be a beast. They had added Yannick Ngakoue. Try saying that 5 times fast. But he looked like a beast, but for some reason he's bouncing from team to team. Wonder what the reason behind that is. I know he started with he started his career with the Jaguars, got traded to Minnesota last year, and the Vikings before the season really even got too far gone, traded him to Baltimore, and now I think someone else has him. Oh, Dan, I'm missing your comments over here. Let's see here. Hey, it's my first live stream in several months, so let's see if I can. It may take me a minute to get in the game shape. Buffalo, look out for Allen this year. He could be the next MVP. Could. I don't think that's a stretch of the imagination. The only thing I hope is that I hope that Dolphin defense stands between him and that MVP. We got to deal with them twice a year, and we got to get ready for it because he's a talented young man. So getting back to Minnesota and Cincinnati, yeah. So it's hard to figure out where Minnesota's at. Cincinnati, not a good year last year either. Of course, Joe Burrow getting hurt. And I've heard he's had a rough camp. He's been kind of tentative coming back from that injury. Wow. This is another game that doesn't really doesn't quite jump out at me. I don't. So I am going to go with Minnesota, just because I don't see them having to readjust to having now a second year quarterback coming back from injury. Even though it's in Cincinnati, I don't know. I have to see something from the Bengals before I'll start picking them. Let's move on to San Francisco versus Detroit. No brainer. Let's put 16 on that. I'll go back and get the other confidence points as we fill it out with the more with the ones I'm more sure about. There's no way, I don't care if it is in Detroit, there's no way the Lions handle the 49ers. Maybe I'll do a tier video, NFL tier video. If I do, I can tell you right now, Detroit's going at the bottom of it. I don't understand how you trade Matt Stafford for Jared Goff. Now, I can understand the Rams wanting to make that trade. Stafford's a good quarterback. Boy. He's able to take the Rams up to the next level. I don't think that's beyond the possibilities here. So, but now I just can't figure out why would you want Goff? That seems like giving up to me. Because he hasn't shown that he's consistent enough to be a franchise quarterback. So now who do they have? This Detroit team, I expect them to be terrible this year. And I hate to say it because I know some guys that really love their Lions, but I just don't see it. Uh, Tennessee, Arizona at Tennessee. Um, this game could be a little closer than what people think. I see a lot of people as I look off to the odds. I see a lot of people picking Tennessee. I don't disagree. I'm going to go with Tennessee, but I don't know. I'll have to come back on the confidence points on that because I hear Tyler Murray get a lot of grief, but I just don't see. I don't see why. I mean, I know. I guess he's just not one of the hot, cool kids, but he can definitely sling the rock. But Tennessee, man, that's an awfully hard draw to pull week one at Tennessee, and weapons galore. They're going to be tough. They're going to be tough, and probably more than Arizona can handle. Seattle. Seattle at Indianapolis. Going Seattle. Indiana. I would think that this would be a little closer. In Indianapolis is not a terrible team, but with Carson Wentz out, I can't even tell you. Let me look that up real quick. I can't even tell you who their backup quarterback is. So we'll go Colts depth chart, and let's see. It looks like all right. So Carson Wentz is playing. Let's see. Notes: Wednesday's practice will be critical in determining Carson Wentz's availability for week one. If he's a full participant, Reich said it would be safe to say he'd be on track to start in Sunday's season opener against the Seattle Seahawks at Lucas Oil Stadium. Okay. And let's, what I should have done was went to Google and put in Carson Wentz to see what popped up in the news. Not seeing anything that suggests his availability. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm still sticking with Seattle. I think they're a really good team, and they're gonna beat Indianapolis this Sunday. Let's see, we got some more comments from Dan. Agreed. San Francisco will be a strong team this year, and I believe Stafford will lead the Rams. He's just a great quarterback. Man, he is. He has been a tough guy, a really strong, tough guy in this league, and has lit it up. That's one position that the Lions had settled while they had him. How do you let him get away? I don't get it. I don't get it. But in a way, I'm happy for him because it doesn't seem like the Lions front office is concerned about getting them to a Super Bowl and winning a world championship. The Rams do. And this is what the Rams. Might be the shot in the arms that the Rams need to really make a run. And yeah. And Detroit and Houston will be flat out terrible this year. Yes, I agree. We haven't got to the Texans yet, but they definitely are not a team that I'm expecting much from at all. I kind of wish we had, like last year, I kind of wish we had some more of their picks, because yeah, they're going to be drafting high again next summer. So let's look at the next game. We got the Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers at the Washington football team. Ooh, man, that's a tough one. And if you look over here in the side column, it's one of the closer games as far as what people are picking, how people are picking. I'm not sure which way I want to go. I think in this case, I'm going with the Washington football team. Now, everybody thinks that the Chargers are going to beat them. And I can see why they're probably really excited about seeing Justin Herbert come out. Man, when they drafted him and put the graphic up, I thought, this kid, he needs to be starring on the Disney Channel, not quarterbacking an NFL football team. But I was wrong. I was wrong. He's a good looking quarterback. And I think the Chargers have got a good one in him. I just don't know if they're ready to step up and be competitive. I like the direction that the Washington football team's going. Their front line, I might be a little jealous because, man, that Chase Young, he looks like the real deal. He looks like he could be the guy that everybody compares to Jason Taylor, the Hall of Fame Dolphins Hall of Famer, because he's not quite as long as Jason, I don't think, but man, coming off that edge, speed kills, and he's got it. He has got it. Yeah, so Chase Young and Montez Sweat both. Those guys are beasts. Then you want to add, Washington had a problem at the quarterback position. Now, I do not think Ryan Fitzpatrick is a long-term answer. And that's not sour grapes because he was a former Dolphin. I said this last year. I don't think Fitzpatrick is consistent enough to warrant putting a franchise under his leadership unless they're rebuilding. He was great for the Dolphins the first 2 years that he was there. The first year he was there was the rebuild year, and he's a great leader of men. Just an absolute great leader of men. Guys want to go out there and fight for him. And at that point, you're not really worrying about winning games so much as you are developing the players that you have. That first year that Flores was there, it was about developing talent. And he was doing that because it was a historically bad Dolphins team that got better and won 5 games by the end of the year, including a victory over the Brady-led Patriots. But he's so streaky. And people were over-romanticizing the start of the Dolphins' year last year. We were 0-2 before we knew it. And he had some responsibility in those losses because he does tend to be streaky. He'll light it up some days, and then other days he throws at those crucial interceptions that just rip it right out of you. And I think it was against Buffalo. He did just that. We were trying to keep up, but he didn't make the throws that he needed to in the heat of the game when we needed it. So, and then what I also look back to is the game against the Jets. We jumped way out on the Jets. It was like 21-0, 24-0, something like that. But then we didn't score much in the second half at all. And that's troublesome. That was when they gave Tua a couple snaps right at the end of the game, and then they named him a starter. And I'm not saying it was because of his performance in the Jets game, but you have to take that into consideration because Yeah, you can jump out to a lead in the NFL, but all right, 21-0 is great. But will the half to go? Will that hold up against the Chiefs or the Bills? I could see why the Dolphins would want to see what they start developing to a. I think part of the problem too is that I think they realized that on defense and on special teams they were developing at a pretty quick rate. So if you don't get Tua in there, is his development going to be halted a little bit or slowed to the point where he's not ready when the rest of the team's ready? You got to get him in there, and that's what they did. And they put Fitzpatrick back in when they needed that boost because I mean after how many years has he played in the NFL? Isn't it over 15? And but there's a reason why he's played with like 8 or 9 football teams. He's great in moments, but then it's the rest of the time that's an issue. One of these days, I'm gonna get the hang of bouncing back and forth between the screens. There we are. Justin Herbert is a great quarterback, but Fitzy and Washington will be great this year. Not sure they'll win the division, but they got a shot at it. We'll see tonight against the Cowboys. They'll need to, they'll see kind of what they're up against. I think the Cowboys are the biggest threat to Washington this year. Though I don't know that division was so terrible last year. Washington backed into the playoffs with a losing record. I mean, as much as I like their defense, that was kind of frustrating to watch them go. To watch them go to the playoffs with a losing record. Oh man, why can't we be in the NFC East? uh, but yeah, I don't know. I expect Washington to have a good season, but I also expect Fitzpatrick to be streaky, and there'll be some great days, and there'll be some days where they'll be wondering if should he really be quarterbacking. That's par for the course when you bring in Fitzpatrick. I just would like to know what their plan is, their long-term plan is for fixing that position. Because even if they think that Fitzpatrick can make them competitive this year, I can't believe that they think that because he could retire. I mean, he's long enough in the tooth he could retire in a year too, and he's got a lot of kids, family. So how much longer is he going to play? It's hard to say. So, all that said, I do think they're beating the Chargers this week, but they better they better bring their A game because the Chargers have got some weapons. All right, so let's go on to the Giants and Carolina Panthers. Ooh. I can't say that I'm a huge follower of either team. But man, a lot of people are picking the Panthers over the Giants. Come on, man! Everybody's playing with Daniel Jones on Madden. He can't get any love in real life. No, that's probably a good pick, but I don't have a strong enough feeling about Carolina to put a lot of confidence points on it. fact, I'm just going to put 2 because I just don't. I got to see what Carolina's got. They may have really improved their team, but until you get on the field and can see the pads pop and see what guys do when they're playing in a real game. That's why. Well, I'll talk about the Dolphins when we get there. I know I've been talking about them all along anyway, so that's what you get. That's what you get when you come to this channel. Yeah, Jacksonville at Houston. Wow, we're getting a real dumpster fire early in the season. Now's the big question. As a Dolphin fan, we've had the rumors about Deshaun Watson potentially coming to Miami that I have not bothered to see. All right, so Deshaun Watson will be sitting while Tyrod Taylor quarterbacks. Man, that's going to make that game a little tricky. They're both terrible. And let's see, everybody thinks Jacksonville's going to win. Is that legitimate? I wonder how legitimate that is, or if they just think they're just that excited about the new quarterback. Okay, I've already seen that one. We're going to change a little bit here. I'm going with Houston here. Tyrod Taylor is a veteran. He knows what he's expecting. People always think these rookie quarterbacks. I don't even know who's starting for Jacksonville. That's something else. I just assumed it would be the rookie, but QB for Jags. All right, so Trevor Lawrence is starting. But everybody keeps thinking that these quarterbacks are just going to come in the league and just start lighting it up. I know Houston doesn't have, Watt's gone on to Arizona, but they still have some talent on that team. And I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't have the strongest feeling in the world. So what we're going to do is we're going to bump Buffalo up to 3. We're going to set this at a 1 because I just really don't know. Everybody seems to think Jacksonville's going to roll all over Houston, but I don't see it. Here's a slobber knocker for you. Browns at Chiefs. Browns look awfully good last year. Looked real good. It looks like they may be headed in the right direction, and considering how pitiful they've been over the last couple of decades, I'm sure Browns fans have to be thrilled. But they're playing the Chiefs, and I just that ain't happening. Chiefs are going to win this thing. I expect the Chiefs to be in great shape. I think they've added some pieces on defense. There ain't nothing wrong with that offense. Not nothing that a healthy offensive line can't fix. And yeah, so I expect the Chiefs to win. We'll come back on the confidence points for that one. Now we got The Miami Dolphins at New England Patriots. Man, I still hate the Patriots. Even if Tom Brady's not there, I still hate the Patriots. But they're a well-coached team. And I believe that's where, I think now that we have Flores, we're a well-coached team. I think that's where he gets it from. I mean, for all the things that I hate Bill Belichick for, his teams, when you look at his teams, I think one of the big ingredients to all of the success that they've had is that they develop players. You don't have guys just skating by. That doesn't work for Bill Belichick. He does. If you're on his team, that's because you're going to work hard and you're going to be ready if they call on you to do everything that you can up to your ability. And he expects you to be professional and he expects you to be ready. And I think all of that leads to people underestimating Patriot teams sometimes, because even when the marquee players aren't out there, they're still so well coached. They don't have the drop that a lot of teams do when their star players are out. All right, let's put a pin in this for a second. I want to see what Dan's saying down here. Dan, you're kind of almost co-hosting this with me tonight. I appreciate you, buddy. Urban Meyer will turn this Jacksonville team around. I believe Lawrence will win this game. He dominated when he was in Clemson. Go Jags. Well, that's a good point. You notice I didn't even though I picked the other team, I didn't put a lot on it. I'm interested in seeing Lawrence and seeing what he can do. I just don't know. That first game's liable to be a little rough. And there's so much dissension between the Jaguar player. I keep reading that there's a lot of dissension between the team and Urban Meyer. They don't like some of his methods. But it could be that he just needs to win a few games and show guys that his way works. I mean, and then people buy in. Belichick probably gets away with a lot that a lot of other coaches can't get away because he's proven winner. Am I really talking positive about Bill Belichick? What am I doing? That miserable old troll? Why am I talking good about Bill Belichick? I must have lost my mind. I'm so chinged up tonight that I don't know why I'm so excited. I don't like the Buccaneers or the Cowboys. Browns look good again this year. They do. I really think they will. I think they're a playoff team. The only reason I didn't pick them this week was because they're playing the AFC champs. And I just one bad game against the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl last year hadn't changed my opinion about just how good the Chiefs are. Me too. No Brady. Who cares? I still hate the Patriots. Absolutely. My hatred is deep seated. Yeah, I can't tell you when. Well, no, I know when. Spygate was what really, because I don't mind people being good. You'll never hear me talk about the Buffalo Bills of the early '90s the way I talk about the Cheatriots, because they were good and they ruined some seasons for us, but I respect them because they were that good, and and they had some integrity and some honor. I think the world of Marv Levy, but I don't Bill. I mean, I respect Bill Belichick's ability. It's the scummy cheating side that really irks me. But I'm going on a tangent now. What do I think is going to happen in this game between the Dolphins and the Patriots? Call me a homer, but I think the Dolphins are winning. Not going to put a lot of confidence on it. I'll come back to exactly how much I do. But again, the Patriots are starting a rookie quarterback. I think potentially, and maybe I should cross all my fingers and knock on some wood at the same time, but I'm hearing Tua is having a great camp. I'm hearing that Waddle is balling out. If our offense gets rolling, we've, last year, what did we have? A top 5 defense. And I think that defense is going to be even better because we've got rookies. Now everybody's freaking out because some of the rookies aren't starting. Again, that's not the big picture. Flores learned from Belichick. You develop people. So just because they're not starting now doesn't mean they won't be starting. Maybe even by midseason or the season's end. But I think that the young people that are there are gonna do well. And I think the Dolphins could be the key is, does Tua make the jump? Last year the problem was that he just couldn't. He admitted he didn't know the playbook that well. And when we really needed him to be able to push the ball down the field, it didn't seem to be there. And then Fitz, being the veteran, would come in and probably saw things that he didn't see and could get the ball down the field and did for us. But I think this year is going to be different. I think maybe it's hopeful wishing, but I am looking at the camp that he had, and I feel good about this kid. I think, and I've got my Tua shirt on. So I really think that he's going to make the leap. I think this is going to be a big year for Tua. I think it's going to be a big year for Waddle. I'd like for it to be such a big year that Waddle wins Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think maybe we have more in our running backs, Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed, than what a lot of people think. I think the Dolphins win. I think New England could give us fits because they're just so well coached, but that rookie quarterback is probably going to need some time too. All right, now here's Dan. I hope you're still with me, buddy. Let's talk Packers. All right, we got the Green Bay Packers at the New Orleans Saints. So the post-Breeze era begins for the Saints. And I'm blanking on their quarterback, their starting quarterback's name. This is what happens when you get old. And I am old enough now. Starting Saints QB. Google is such a good friend. I am old enough now to where I can, Jameis Winston. I am old enough now where I can get the senior discount at Denny's. So that's old enough for me to use my age as an excuse for everything else. New Orleans could do okay. New Orleans could do okay. I think Jameis Winston, I don't know how much his go Fins. I don't know how much his vision really affects his gameplay. He's got to get those interceptions under control. And, Favre had an issue with interceptions up until about his fourth year, where he was throwing almost as many, if not more, interceptions and touchdowns. This is probably Winston's last chance. He's now that if his vision was the problem, it's been corrected now. He needs to step up. Having said that, sorry, buddy, you're playing the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers with a chip on his shoulder, the Packers could be scary this year. Just for that reason. Just for Aaron Rodgers having that much to prove. And they've got talent. They've got talent on that team. And they were good last year. Packers, I think, are going to. I think they're going to put a thump. They might thump the Saints. That doesn't. If they do, it doesn't mean Jameson Winston's a flop. It just means that he needs more time. And what people need to remember is that you've got to look at. It's not always how you start. The football season's so long that teams will change over the course of the season. We've seen that before. We saw it in two teams last year. We saw the Buccaneers kind of a little slower, kind of mature and build up into the point where they were become the Super Bowl champs. We also watched the Steelers start off like gangbusters and then all of a sudden kind of fall apart at the end and not do anything. So, and the season that I think about when I try to remember, watch a team as they develop is the Steelers from Jerome Bettis' last year when they won the Super Bowl. Because if you remember, they started off slow and ended up going into the playoffs as a wild card. That's why they wore white the entire postseason, including the Super Bowl, with Bettis winning the Super Bowl in his hometown of Detroit. They did all that because they went in as a wild card. Won the Super Bowl as a wild card. So, that shows you that you got to pay attention to a team. What we see in week one will not necessarily be an indicator for what comes all season long. So, but having said all that, Green Bay, they're going to go Pack. Is right, Dan. Hardcore Packer fan there. All right, so then we got Denver at the New York Giants. We're going to... Well, wait a minute. My old eyes, I was looking at that Carolina game as being against the Giants. That's the Jets. That's the stinking Jets that I was looking at. This never happens on NFL Today, does it? All right. That doesn't change what I think about up here. Okay. The Jets are worse than the Giants. They're garbage. They're dumpster fire. And I don't care who they drafted. It's going to take them a while, or the fact that they got rid of Gase. It's going to take them a while to get all that straight. So that doesn't change. Now that I know it's the Giants actually down here against Denver, that doesn't do anything for the Giants either. Denver's got well, it is a little tougher. It is a little tougher. Well, that's an awfully close pick game too. Daniel Jones. I'm sorry. Every time I think about him, I think about him tripping trying to run the football down the field. Good, yeah. Just bad play in the kid's career, but that's what I think of right now. He's a good quarterback, but that Denver defense, man, they have managed to hang on to a good defense. And let's do starting Broncos QB. Does it? I don't know that. I haven't really paid much attention to the Broncos at all. Drew Lock. Man, I can see why this game's so tight. Nobody really stands out in any area to me. I think I'm going to go with Denver just based on that defense of theirs. Just gives people fits. And just thinking back to they gave Tua fits last year. And that and then they had that game with the Saints where they were starting a wide receiver at quarterback, and the Saints were starting Taysom Hill, and that was a defensive. Hey, Dan's taking off. I think he's already gone, but if you're not, buddy, thank you for stopping in. Always glad to have you, and we'll see you. We'll see you soon. Let's looking back at this Denver game. Yeah, we're going to go with that, but we're not putting much on that either. In fact, we're going to put that at what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Carolina. Yeah, they're playing the Jets. I'll put them at 4, and then I'll put this one at 2. The close games are filling up, man. Haven't had that many slam dunks, have we? Just the one. San Francisco over Detroit. Then we've got the Rams versus the Bears in Los Angeles. I know Matthew Stafford's great. I don't know about we'll see what again with the blank. The dude that used to quarterback the Bengals, Andy Dalton. There we go. Thank you, Brain, for finally firing on all cylinders. Well, maybe not all, but at least a couple. Yeah. I think that we go with the Rams there. I need to hurry. We got Baltimore going up against the Raiders in Los Angeles. This is a Monday night game. What? They usually have first weekend of the year. They usually have a doubleheader on Monday night. What's up with that? Both of those teams. That's liable to be. That's liable to be a pretty rough game. Whew. Let's go with Las Vegas. I don't, I think Baltimore is potentially both of these are potentially playoff teams. Excuse me. I'm having a little issue. Let me get up. Yeah, that's better. But man, that makes me want to readjust these bottom ones again. I think we'll take Buffalo all the way up to 5. I wasn't really feeling it, but I need to make room for this Baltimore Las Vegas game. We're going to take that up to 3. Take this other one. Well, which one do I put at 1 and which one do I put at 2? I think we'll put this at 2. All right, so let's start filling this thing out a little bit farther and get it submitted. So we got looking for a second slam dunk. I think the one I'm feeling the most I don't know that there's any. I really like this Green Bay game. I'm going to put 15 on them, even though I think the Saints are good. That could come back to bite me, but I really think the Packers are going to win that game. I really like the Rams. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I'll knock that down to a 14. Put the Rams in at 15. So now we need a 12. No, we need a 13. And who deserves a 13? I think we go with the Chiefs. I mean, the Browns are good competition. But I just can't see Kansas City losing a home opener. Then I think we go. Then I think I've being kind of careful. Don't really want to disrespect Dallas, but they really weren't very good. They weren't even. They couldn't even beat last year. They couldn't even beat out the Redskins. Won the division at 7-9. I don't know that they are going to be that much better this year. We'll see. I'm going to put 12 on the on Tampa Bay because, like I said, I think they're about to get thumped. So then I think we'll put 11 on the Dolphins. Let's ride. And then I think I feel really good about Tennessee. Put 10 there. We'll put 9 Seattle. Let's work this thing. That Washington game really trips me up a little bit. Looks like we got 3 more. We're going to put the 8 on Minnesota. I really hate this, but I'm going to put 7 on Atlanta just because I don't see Philadelphia being that good. And we'll put this one at 6. It could go either way. So that fills out out. Now let's guess some scores for tiebreakers. Baltimore versus Las Vegas. Could be high scoring. I don't see it being that. We'll go 24-17. Sounds good to me. Bears at the Rams. I can see the Rams putting up a lot of points. The Bears, not so much. I do think they'll get. Well, if I can get in here, let's put 14. Who's going to score the most points this week? Well, I always look first at Kansas City. They're playing Cleveland. That's a pretty good defense. They're going to put up a lot. Dallas could be in trouble tonight against Buccaneers. Rams, but that Chicago defense is really tough. Buffalo and Pittsburgh, man, I was looking at Buffalo because they have such good offense. I'm just going to stick it out with the Chiefs. They could get hot, and a lot of teams just can't handle them when they get hot. And I'm going to go with with my fallback from last year. New York Jets scoring. Oh, no. That's old eyes. Kansas City in the right place. Let's put the Jets in the right place. And save picks. There we go. All right. And those are the picks for this week. How long have we been on? We've been on about going on about an hour and 5 minutes. We still got about 15 until the kickoff. Let's look at a little fantasy. Let's look at my weekly league. I am in 2 leagues. One is one that I run that we draft every year, and then the other league I'm in is a keeper league. We'll look at this year's league. See how everybody's doing. Am I being projected for a win? Right now, it looks like it. Take a look at my lineup. Yeah, we're definitely going to start. Now, what I did in my draft, I'll explain a little bit about how I drafted this team. I think early on, who did I grab? All right, so I picked 6th overall. I went ahead and grabbed Aaron Jones as my running back. He's probably the best running back on the board. You want to have good running backs on your fantasy football team. So, trying to remember who I picked second. Did I pick Edwards-Helaire? I may have picked him second. I can't. That was 3 days ago. I'm old, so how am I supposed to remember? Must have picked Edwards-Helaire second, giving me 2 good running backs. Because I held off on quarterback for a while. I really wanted to get a good I like to get a good quarterback, one that I know put up a lot of points. But I was trying to be patient and get it where the draft would let me get it. There were a couple picks I was a little hesitant on that just kind of crept up on me. Deontay Johnson, I was kind of vacillating about him and some other players. I think the same with DJ Moore. Hopefully they pay off for me. Of course, you grab Tyreek Hill. One strategy I try, and should I put this out there? Yeah, sure, why not? I do try to stick with really good players from really good teams, because the problem with marquee players from bad teams is that there's potential for them not to play up quite a little more than teams that are really rolling. So yeah. So when I did pick a quarterback, I picked Russell Wilson. So that gives me, so you can kind of see the starting lineup there. I grabbed Darren Waller pretty quick because that guy's a beast. I think he's really maybe the top tight end in football. So you get down here, DeAndre Swift fell quite a bit. Now, I don't think he's playing week 1. I think he's hurt, but it didn't look like it was a serious enough injury that's going to keep him out all year. And where I picked him, I really thought he was a steal. So I went ahead and grabbed him, knowing that I wouldn't be using him week 1, but he could pay off for me somewhere down the road, I really feel like. Tyler Lockett was another one that I think dropped quite a bit. And I just where I got him, I thought I got him at another steal here. And it looks like, well, then you start seeing the Miami guys show up down here. And, but they were taken right at the bottom of the draft. And I took them there because, one, I think this Dolphin offense could break loose this season. And so I expect Gesicki to have a really good year. I expect him to be a good number 2 tight end. Tua, I wanted to go ahead and grab Tua because, especially he and Waddle, because if they jump out, I don't want to have to race people to pick them up, And I think this is, when I look at these two, I see a tandem that in an offense that could take a next step, and maybe that's the hope. Maybe I am wearing a Dolphins hat with a Dolphins flag behind me. Maybe that's homerism blinding me, but I really see this offense coming out. Jarvis Landry, yes, he's a former Dolphin. I didn't really take him for that reason, though. He's a solid number 2 receiver in Cleveland. He's going to get his. I don't expect to play him a lot, but when I need a fill-in, I think Jarvis Landry is a legitimate threat. So that's how that team kind of works out. We'll see how well I do this year. I was kind of looking around for questionables and stuff. That lineup looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and take a peek at the keeper league. I'm not as optimistic about this one. I lost a coin flip that was it a coin flip? No, we guessed the number, and I guessed the wrong number. And so this team was kind of rough. I inherited this keeper. I did not build this team. I added 2 rookies to it and dropped 2 veterans, but that's about all that I've done. I don't have a whole lot of hopes. I'm not crazy about Nick Chubb. Good. Well, this is about as good a tandem as you're going to find in the NFL, but I'm not crazy about starting 2 guys on the same team. But I don't have much behind them. I've got Boston Scott and Justin Jackson. What do you do? And the league's been picked pretty clean. I like Kyler Murray. Don't know if I would want him as a starting quarterback. I did pick up Tua in a trade because I didn't think I wasn't in a position to grab a one. I wasn't in a position to grab Lawrence or any of the other rookie quarterbacks that would have made a big difference. And so, to me, the guy that could pop off that hasn't shown what he's capable of is Tua. And so I traded a player that wasn't going to start for him. Do have Fitzmagic backing up down here. I think that gives if Tua doesn't pan out, then Fitzmagic gives me how ironic. Gives me a second guy I can go to. This is a rough team. And I'm not sure exactly how to fix it. This is a team that I'm going to have to watch the waiver wires every week, and I'm going to have to and I've done that before. I had a draft once over 10 years ago, and it had to be the late 90s. Was it the late 90s? I can't remember. All I remember, I think my number 1 overall might have been Adrian Peterson. This was early in his career, and he got hurt. I remember my first and second draft picks in this draft went down with injuries. And I had to cobble together a team, I had to replace them and put together a team that could stay competitive, I almost made the playoffs. I think that might have been my best season of fantasy football ever, even though I didn't make the playoffs, just because that team should have tanked. But yeah, so that's how the lineup shake out. I think I will conclude this video. They're about ready to get started. I'm sure everybody wants to get to the game and quit listening to me. So, well, there's nobody in here anyway. But I hope folks come in and watch this over the next couple days and enjoy it. And I'm going to, regardless, I'm going to keep this live stream is going to stay, and we'll see what happens. But I'm telling you, this season there will be a live stream every week right here. Just watch. I also have a Facebook page, DolfanDale. You can go there, and I always put links to live streams on it. So anyway, thank you for staying and watching if you're still in it, and appreciate you. And we'll see you soon. Peace.